I want to take a look now at some of the hardware you might find in layer 2. As a matter of fact, there are really only two that are of any significance, switches and bridges. So let's take a look at those. So here's a switch. Here's a physical picture of a switch. And then this would be the Cisco schematic of a switch. This is a 3D version of that schematic. This is a schematic that would be common in a rack type switch, and then down here might be a smaller one that you would find. This is a special kind of switch. I won't talk about that yet. That you would find on maybe Visio or some other software applications. And by the way, I've put a whole bunch of others down here because there are variations on them, as you might imagine. But for this class, we're only really looking at the basic type of switch. Here's a switch in a diagram. So I've got a Cisco 2D schematic here, and then this is a router over here. So remember, every port off of a switch is its own collision domain. So in fact, let's count those collision domains. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 collision domains off of this switch, and so that's it for the switch. Let's take a look at the bridge. So with the bridge, here is a real device and then a Cisco schematic, 3D schematic, and then a 2D schematic of it. These two are ones you might find, say, on Visio or some of the other besides non-Cisco types of schematics. And here's a schematic of one in a rack where you've got the two ports on there. Now, here's what a bridge did. So let's say I've got two buildings, and typically I would just have a hub. I might have two hubs and go from hub to hub, but the result is the same. All these devices would be on one big collision domain. Well, let's say I have 100 devices in building A and 150 devices in building B. Well, that's a lot of collision domain. And because of all of the collisions going on here, these things might get too slow. They would slow down. And so what I'm going to do is put a bridge here. And the bridge does separate collision domains. So now these devices and these devices can all talk with each other in their same collision domain and not slow things quite as much. That's it for switches and bridges, the equipment in layer 2.